Alright guys, welcome back to the Regal Gentleman Studio, and today we've got Damien in the chair. How you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Good man, I'm good, thank you, I'm good. So, what's the plan, what we do?
So the plan is, so I've been growing my hair out for the last, I want to say, 4.5 years or so.
Oh, okay, nice.
At first, I was like, I want to see how long I can actually get it before I get fed up.
Okay.
Now I've kind of reached that threshold, I've reached that stage where just finding it really tough to manage, like on a day-to-day basis.
Okay.
So for the front, I was thinking of like sort of that, but
Okay.
so no skin fade. The only parts I'd say I want sort of faded out are the sideburns because they get quite bulky,
Okay.
and sort of neckline.
Okay.
So kind of like that,
Okay.
and like for
So do you want your hair going back, or do you want it going to the side? What are you thinking? Because they're more, so is that for the back and sides there? Is that what you're thinking, lengthwise on the back and sides?
yeah, or maybe a little bit more on
bit
the
more
back.
length?
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
maybe a bit more. Yeah.
Okay,
It was
no
hard
worries.
to sort of get photos of like what I wanted because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't really know, to be honest. So I just wanted your kind of input.
I try and guide and help and work as a team to get to that end goal. I just find that works. More people are happy that way than they are unhappy. So we can make it, I mean, you are the biggest blank canvas you'll ever be. What is the purpose for the length on the back and sides? Like, why do you not want to go down to skin, or why do you want to keep some hair on the back and sides? What is it about having more hair and just fading out the edges that you like or that you want to do?
Well, I think one of the reasons I grew it out to begin with is that I don't think like my sort of head shape suits like short hair, like sort of skin, because I've got a small head.
Looking from what I can see on your head shape here, the thing that won't work for you on a skin fade is the height.
Right.
That's the thing. If you've got a very wide head, right, everything's very straight and very wide, high skin fades work really well because you've still got a corner that your head shape's creating itself. When you can see yours here now, you can see the concave, just looking straight on, you can see which way your head concaves in, right? So that is how far in it concaves. So if we took a skin fade to here, for example, then it wouldn't work because it would widen your jaw. So any length you have on the back and side, it needs to come quite far out. So again, picking a skin fade or any sort of skin, I'm not saying we have to do one, but just picking any sort of like short back and sides, you always want to keep the blending point quite low on yours because you want to build it up. Now that is if you want it to match your face shape, okay?
Okay.
If you don't care and you want to be creative, then it doesn't really matter. But if you want a haircut that suits you and suits your face shape, that's kind of what you need to do. Keeping some length on the back and sides, it's purely personal. It doesn't have to happen. It's just whereabouts the blending point is. If you want to go down to a 1, a 2, a 3, whatever, you know, the more hair you have, the less low you have to go. But essentially, you still want to keep any sort of short clipper work low down the bottom there. So it just depends on what length you like. Now you know that. Are you bothered how short you go, or do you still want to keep some hair on the back and sides?
Yeah, I still want to keep some hair on the back and sides.
Okay. Like, would my length on the back and sides be too short, for example?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe too short? Okay.
Yeah.
But mine is a 4 into a 1.
Right, okay.
That's what mine is. So I think we're probably better off doing something that would be the length of maybe like half an inch on the back and sides, roughly, you know? But I'll do that freehand, because then that way we can tailor it to your face shape and stuff. And then we can still taper out the bottom.
Perfect.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
In terms of the top, is that the sort of shape you want to go for? Do you want it to be parted this way, or do you want it coming backwards, or do you want the option to do both?
I'll say I'll comb over to the right, so parted or combed over this way.
No.
Yeah, it was just something that sort of suited my face shape, because like getting a sort of like generic haircut from the barbers, they don't really go through any of this with you. There's like, they're just paid to like, you know, customer comes in, you tell them what they want, and they do. They cut it for you.
Yeah,
the way you want it. Like,
I mean, some are.
It's not like a consultation like before.
Yeah. But again, some are like that, but it's necessity, right? You know, not everybody has the time or the luxury to have these consultations. I mean, I think there's a barbershop for everyone. You know, some people just want to go in, get a 1 back and side short on top, go. Sure. They don't really want to sit down with me and chat about face shape and head shape. Not everyone's into that, right? So there's a clientele for every barbershop, right? If maybe that's just not maybe the barbershop that you want. You know what I mean? So maybe you want to come and have a chat about your hair. So it probably works quite well that you've come to me today, you know what I mean, to be able to have a consultation. But in terms of that shape though, yeah, we can definitely do it. Definitely do it. So are you definitely sure you want to do it?
Yeah,
100%?
I'm all in, let's go.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, cool. What are you doing with your hair? Do you want me to are you looking to donate it?
Yeah,
or?
I'm looking to donate it, yeah.
Right, okay. Have you signed up for anything yet? Or
not yet, I'm still having a look around, but
right, okay.
Little Princess Trust, they
take
hair donations.
Yeah, they do, yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, I'm happy to do that.
All right, cool, man. Yeah, sweet.
Just wanted to know, like, is it in good enough condition to donate?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Right. Okay. Well, let's cut this off first then. All right.
Cool.
And then we'll get your haircut done. So, what made you decide to grow it in the first place then? COVID or?
No, I started growing it before COVID.
Oh, before?
Yeah, this is this is actually the 4th time I've had long hair.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so this time out, I just wanted to see like how long I could get it before I get fed up.
It's done well to get this far though. This is
the longest.
Takes a
it's been
long
by far.
time, yeah, man.
Before that, the longest it had been was like just past my collarbone.
Oh wow, okay. Well,
So,
this is definitely an extreme version of that, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Wow.
There's quite a few reasons besides that. It was like trying to find the right barbers. Like the barbers I have in my town is like every time I go to get a haircut from them, they would like never give me the cut I want.
Oh,
so
okay.
I got fed up with it, to be honest.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, and when it's short, it grows out really quick. So I'm back at the barber's like 2 weeks later.
Really?
Yeah. It gets when I was doing the whole like sort of undercut thing.
Yeah. That's probably not the time your hair grows though. That's probably the cut.
Yeah.
Undercuts grow out very quickly,
Yeah,
so you probably
right.
find that it doesn't work after 2 weeks more than your hair growing fast. Does that make sense?
It does.
So hopefully, having a balanced haircut. That's what I was saying before. Like, having a balanced haircut is probably better for you.
Sure.
You know. Right? You ready?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, any last requests before we cut it all off?
No, I'm looking
No?
forward to it.
You ready? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. Let's do it then. So, for anyone asking, right, because I see sometimes a couple of guys saying about not taking as much off for the donation. Now, I tie it up to allow myself room to do a new style. Now, it'd be different if Damien came in and said, shave it all off. Then obviously I could tie it right to the root and shave it that way. But because we still have to do a new hairstyle, I've still got to leave length in the haircut to be able to cut the style in. So for anyone wondering why I don't go too much higher up when I am doing the charitable donation hairstyles, it's because I've still got to have room to do the new restyle. So just in case anyone's wondering, I am trying to give as much hair as possible. It's just that you can't always give too much if you're doing, Damien's not just coming for a buzz cut, he's coming for a brand new restyle. So we've got to bear that in mind as well when we are taking length off. I don't want to take too much off the crown or, take too much off the top as if we're cutting the top, if we're cutting it into these kind of bunches. So that's the reason why I kind of cut it off at this stage here, just so I'm left with a bit more length to restyle, that's all. Because, doing this haircut now is like trying to fix a bad haircut. That's basically what it's like when you do these charitable haircuts, because I've got to now fix this, which does look like a terrible haircut. Do you get what I mean?
Please don't leave it like that.
I won't, mate, I won't. But so that's one of the reasons why I don't take off loads, because I still need to leave enough length that I can still play around with, you know what I mean? So it is like fixing a DIY job, essentially.
You were talking about buzzing it off just now. I was actually thinking about buzzing it all off.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but then I stumbled across your video. I was like, I can actually get a decent haircut out of it, so maybe I don't have to buzz it all off.
No, definitely not, mate. Well, let's get you back to having something that you can play around with. Sure. That's the main thing. Right, well, let's give this a little rinse through. I'm going to give this a proper wash, try and get rid of any setting partings and whatnot, and then we'll get into the cut, mate. All right? So I just need to tell the camera, actually. Well, I'm not going to tell the camera. I'm going to ask the camera. So anyone watching, how old do you think Damien is? Because he's just told me, and I was shocked. I'll give you about 10 or 20 seconds to try and guess. Put your comments in now while I'm doing this, and I'll tell you in a second. So, anyone who guessed 19, wrong. I mean, looking at the baby hairs on your fringe, just hairline alone, I would definitely say your early 20s. But Damien's actually 40. Now, I don't know about you, but that is hair envy right there, mate. That is hair envy. Your hairline, everything, bud. It's, like I said to you at the start, you've got good hair genes, mate. I'll tell you,
a lot of
very good hair
40-year-olds that they no longer have hair.
mean, I've just saw one white hair as well, mate. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, I did see a couple.
Bud. I've just saw one there, just there. White two, sorry, just right there. So,
like I said, if it all went white tomorrow, I'd leave it.
Yeah, 100%. I think you suit it, mate, as well. Your complexion as well,
Yeah.
tone as well is great for whiter hair as well. So,
I bear that in mind then.
yeah, man. I mean, I can't see that happening, mate, unless you get overcome with stress in the next 6 weeks, mate. You know what I mean? I can't see that really happening too much.
I try to live a stress-free life, but it's not always easy.
No. But I mean, this would have to be some sort of traumatic experience for you to go grey over very quickly, mate. I'll tell you that. Right, so horseshoe section taken off. Now, the only thing we're going to leave disconnected in this haircut today, just for the style, is the front. So everything else can be connected, we're just going to disconnect the fringe. That way it grows out nicely. It gives the exact finish what Damien wants, but it still works with the face shape too. So that's the main thing. So first of all, I'm going to start off by doing some freehand clipper work. So like we said, about 1/2 inch on the back and sides, roughly, about a 5 or a 6. So if you're going to look at, like, for example, length. So if I show you what a 6 looks like, right? That's the length between my fingers of a number 6. Okay. Do you know what I mean? She's still got a decent amount of hair.
I'm happy with that.
So if we do something similar to that, it'd be great. The reason I was just saying at the very start, the reason I don't use these guards anything above a 4, because the size of the guard, right? If you look at this, if I put this guard on the clipper and I go up and off, by the time it's reached there to when I need to pull off, it's pretty much take the whole sides away. And it just limits you. It puts a bit of a barrier in place. If you put a 6 on, you try and work the 6 up and off, you may have gone too high, or you may be pulling away at the wrong point. And because they're so wide, it misses loads of hair anyway. So that's why I just do clipper over comb. It's just a much more convenient, bulk reducing way of getting that length perfect straight away. Good to go, yeah?
All good.
Well, so we're a third of the way through now as we speak, all right? So keep more length at the top, elevation, bring it down. So we'll go for a nice natural taper towards the bottom. And through the sideburns as well, but still maintaining a nice bit of length through the back and sides. Just bear that in mind when you are doing a big transformation. Just bear in mind that it might not sit perfectly straight away. I always try and explain that to some people, like, if you've had a centre part for 3 or 4 years, it will probably still be a centre part for the next few days until your hair's sort of relaxed and softened and you've starting to train it to go a different way, you know. So yeah, there's some parts that can be quite difficult when you're starting off, doing like a transformation. Just from where it's been kept, for 5 years, well, probably 3.5 years of that, Damien's had a ponytail in the same place. So if you think about it, like, men with long hair treat it very differently to ladies with long hair. Women will tend to have the hair down and relaxed and, styled differently. Ponytails generally, from my experience, is only done to keep the hair out the face or to keep it away. It's never normally a style unless it is for like a red carpet or something. For guys though, guys wear ponytails every single day. Like, that's the difference, I think, when you think of women with long hair and men with long hair. They'll treat it slightly differently. It'll just be a man bun, and that's the style more than it being like just tied up for convenience. So you've got to bear in mind that when you're doing a transformation like this, there's going to be elements of Damien's hair falling very, very unnatural. So just bear that in mind when you're doing a big transformation like this. Just that's why giving it a wash is great for that reason. It just tries to break down that kind of unnatural fall of the hair. So as you can see, just that elevation at the top there, that starts to build up the bulk that we need at the top for Damien's face shape to still be balanced, going short like this. So have you trimmed your beard recently?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, just number 1.
Okay. So I'm going to use that guide there that Damien's already done in his beard just to do the tapering down the bottom there. Now I'm just going to do a cross check now, just to go over. And then what I'm going to do is just to see where I'm at with length. I'm going to use that number 6 guard and just to compare the length that I've taken it to, right? But by doing this, I've done the blend, the graduation, everything else has all been done in the one go. So go on there like that. See, it's roughly about a 6. See? Where I need it to be. But if I was going to do the guard at that length, as you see, when it goes in, it's almost towards where I want to keep that weight. So that's why doing a bit of freehand is good. It's an alternative way of just tailoring the haircuts. We're still keeping some length in there. Just doing a cross check now, just like that. Going back over. Now just to kind of cover both bases of being able to still create a hairstyle while still removing all the length as well. So still keeping a bit of elevation in there, and then just graduating shorter. So for me, that 1 has gone a bit high on the beard, personally, I think. So I'm going to probably taper that a little bit tighter than I probably would have done. But it's not a bad thing because the shape of Damien's head on this side, you know, the shorter down the bottom here will still work. So it's not a bad thing. I just would probably have gone a bit lower, but then again, you know, Damien's hair was really long and he was obviously just doing what he could. So you just got to work with these little slight imperfections of how you'd like it yourself. Onto a different size comb now. And this is going to be where I do my tapering and my detailing. So through the temple, cut that back to the hairline, and then strengthen it. Just getting a little bit tighter. So again, switching combs just allows me to go a little bit shorter. So what's been your best haircut that you've ever had, or best hairstyle you've ever had, Damien? What would you say it would be?
Best hairstyle?
Yeah, that you've had, yeah.
I liked when I had braids.
Braids?
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, so I had braids like in my early 20s.
Nice.
I had them for, I want to say about 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks.
Wow.
The hardest part though was taking them out.
Oof, yeah.
The amount of like what I used to get before this cut, hair shedding.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Plenty. But I had dreadlocks.
You like dreadlocks as well?
I had dreadlocks about, I want to say, a year after I had the braids.
Wow.
I did all sorts of crazy things in like early 20s with hair.
Wow, man.
Yeah, the dreadlocks, I'd never have them again though. It's so much like hard work. Just well, you can't really wash it or
no,
like, maintain
not
them.
at
It's
all,
just like,
no. So what about shorter haircuts then? What's been your favourite short hairstyle?
The comb over one.
Oh yeah, did you like that one?
Yeah, before it grew out. Yeah.
What was it about that look that you liked?
Just having that sort of length at the front, because when it's medium length, you could do more with the hair.
Yeah.
Right, if you just have it short, then you know it gets boring. There's not many things you could do with it.
You do sound like someone who does like to chop and change in a really positive way, though, not in a bad way, in a good way. I think personally.
I do. Like I said, I would have kept it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's a lot of the time it's like prevention over cure, though. You know, it's hard to cure the damage of already dead hair, if that makes sense.
It does make sense.
Very, very hard to do, because there's nothing really, unless you have to rebond it and basically just build back the proteins that you may have lost. It's very, very hard, you know.
You know what I was thinking of doing? I was thinking of getting like a hair treatment. Have you heard of those straightening treatments? I think it was a Japanese hair straightening treatment.
Yeah, there's loads of them. Yeah, I've saw a few of them now. Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I opted against it.
It's a bit like when you get a perm. Obviously, you're unnaturally, you know, changing the genetic makeup of your hair, right? Exactly. In a way. I'm obviously not from the inside out, but obviously, you know, from like the roots.
Yeah.
So, well, perms, you know, again, they you know, there's not many things out there that doesn't damage your hair, though, if you get what I mean. Like colour. Colour's technically damaging your hair. You know,
I know all about colour.
It's one of those things, isn't it? You know, it's kind of like, as long as you look after it whilst it's got these treatments on, then it's usually okay. You know what I mean? I know a lot of guys who've been opting to get extensions put in lately.
I was actually thinking of getting
that's
that.
Come back again. Yeah, that's really made a comeback. The extensions, yeah.
Do you know when I told you my hair had stopped growing after it got to like a certain point, so past my collarbone? I was actually thinking of getting extensions for the undercut, because I grew out an undercut before it all managed to like sort of connect itself. That took about maybe about a year and a half, like 2 years.
Well, I mean, do you know when you see your favourite celebrity with short hair and then a month later he's got long hair?
Yep.
Weird how that happens, isn't it?
I know, yeah. Yeah.
Wonder how they do that.
Yeah.
So no, it's making a big comeback though. The extension elements of like hair styling, for example.
Yeah. Well, I never really heard of a guy getting hair extensions, but I guess it does happen.
Man, yeah, 100%, yeah, definitely. So there's a lot of things that you probably won't know that happens in certain, you know, in certain circles, you know. A lot of it though is generally just for like a role, or you know, if it's an actor, for example, it's usually because of a role which is obviously needed, you know, or a wig or something like that. That's very common. It is always very hard to do a haircut on someone when you know they've got a wig on, and like a client wants that picture because you know it's a wig, you know what I mean, or some sort of hairpiece.
I tell you what, I could probably go get hair extensions after this, and nobody will know.
No one would notice. No, I'm telling you, yeah. But again, you've got that really thick, like almost straight hair though. That is like, you could easily, seamlessly hide extensions in your hair,
Yeah.
for sure. The thing is, what will be interesting is when you wake up in the morning, you go to grab your hair, you know, that,
Go
you know,
to
that
grab
sort
my
of
hair.
like, you kind of grab it like this.
Go to grab my hair like a twist and wrap
That's
into,
it, yeah,
into a bun, and it's not there.
That's it. And instead you get up, you just, you know, you jump in the shower, mate, it's dry within 5 minutes. That'll be a bonus as well.
Yeah. I tell you, one time I really struggled with having long hair was in when I was in Lisbon a couple of years ago, and it was the peak of the summer, 40 plus degree heat.
Must have felt like you had a towel on your head though.
It
Must have felt you had some sort of like heating system or something in place, you know?
Yeah, it was like walking around with a towel on my head. I couldn't cool down because I no longer had the undercut. And
so you had all the thickness, all the weight, and everything else, yeah. Do you know what's interesting though? What I find interesting is that, you know, a lot of European guys though, they do have long hair living in these climates. They're obviously climatized to where they live, aren't they?
That's very true.
Do you know what I mean?
Because
if you think of Spain and you think of footballers, you know, maybe in the last sort of 25, 30 years, right?
Yeah.
A lot of them have got longer hair, haven't they? You know, and they still live in these really hot climates. So they must just be so climatized to it that obviously it doesn't bother them.
I never thought about that.
Whereas we go over there being from Britain with, you know, mediocre weather.
Yeah.
And, you know, mainly colder than hotter throughout the whole year. Yeah. Then obviously, you know, you just don't you can't get used to that, can you, at all?
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes we don't even get summers.
No, I know. That's exactly it. Again, now switching combs, I'm going shorter. Just giving that nice natural taper. Nothing too harsh like the pictures. Again, Damien just didn't strike me for a guy who wants really anything that looks like a skin fade. So obviously doing a bit more of a trimmer over comb and clipper over comb taper is, in my opinion, a lot less harsh than how I was to put a line in and then try and get the line out, you know. I just use this to fine tune and detail. Right, 2/3 of the way there now.
Awesome.
How's that length looking for you?
Looks great.
Happy with that, yeah?
I'm very happy.
Cool, perfect. So, working on the top. So we want symmetry, we want to keep length at the front, we also want to be able to just sweep it over, right? So, we want to go from left to right, that was the idea. Drop it down just a touch, because we still want to maintain length, like that. Now this bit here. I'm going to work straight out because this is just the corner of the hairline. I want this to blend in a little bit more. So as you see, that's still keeping some length through the corners, but it's just creating a nice graduation. Pull that back like that. Sits really nicely. Again, same thing, but this time round, what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring my fingers out this way and angle them slightly more towards me at the fingertips. That'll preserve length at the front. Down to our guide, cut in like that. And as you can see now, look at this angle I'm working on now. Like this. So I'll preserve in length, which will build in that over direction. From that point now, we work down, so we've got our new guide underneath here. What you start to see is a lot more length, that front bit there, you see. But then you've still got a graduation to the back. It's all sitting nice. You can start to see the strands coming in now, like that. And then we'll take the back a bit shorter. We cut through the top, And that'll be nice. I know we're setting through there as well. That's down to the same length here, like so. And then from that point on, start to angle our fingers outwards. So start to preserve that length. Not cutting in a side part, I'm just allowing Damien to create his own, which I think personally is much better than just doing a very harsh side part. You know, you've got to bear in mind that Damien hasn't done this style or even styled his hair or attempted to style his hair for a good number of years. So got to bear that in mind as well. It's not going to be the easiest thing to do as well.
Tough to get back into the routine of doing it.
That's it, mate. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Like your autopilot is very different to what this is going to be, mate. You know, you've probably been used to just tying it up and doing nothing with it. Yeah, twisting it. Yeah,
twist
exactly.
and wrap.
That's it. Twist and wrap, mate. Yeah, that's exactly it. Again, giving Damien a haircut that is very easy to maintain. Symmetry is all there, so he's not having to worry about how he tries to style it in the mornings. It just goes over. Right now, so length at the front, happy with. Just want to take that little peak off, so you've got length in the front. What I want to do, I'm just going to get a little bit shorter the further back we go. Just so then that way the fringe is emphasised by being the longest point of this haircut. And just working vertical around the back of the head. Let's continue that nice softer, rounder shape at the back, more than square. And use the razor now to debulk as well through the top. Right, so I'm going to dry this off now for you, okay?
Alright, the razor is something that I've never had used as to debulk hair. It's always been like thinning shears.
Yeah. I mean, you've got wave and curl in your hair, mate,
Yeah.
so your hair's going to, even though it's really thick,
Yeah.
I don't want to snap it. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
and that's what can happen with a texturizing shear, is that like
Yeah.
you can snap there, because one side's blunt and serrated, the other side's sharp, so it just snaps. Now that's what I've got. I have that in my hair because I want this kind of really shattered finish to my hair.
Okay, yeah.
But with yours, it's not. You're going for a classic finish.
Yeah,
You don't want texture in your hair right now.
Right,
you know?
okay.
The look you're going for is a detexturized finish more than a texturized finish. All right. So I'm going to start from the right hand side and I'm going to blow dry this down. High speed, high heat. Very smooth this out. Now the key to this is when it comes to blow drying, it's not blow drying inside pot. Blow dry backwards. Because then that way you can control where your parting goes and the height that you want it at. All right. Okay. If you blow dry just over to one side, it will only fall one side. Yeah. Whereas if you blow dry it backwards, then you can pick throughout the day where that falls, and it just stays a bit more natural for you then. All right.
Okay.
Feel dry.
Yeah.
It feels nice. All right.
Yeah, it definitely needs some product in it.
100%.
Yeah.
So a little bit of clay now, okay? Give you a nice sort of healthy and natural finish as well.
Yeah, I think last time it was short, I was using clays and pomades.
Yeah. Mate, you've got the choice now. You can do whatever you want. I mean, it's really whatever look you want to go for, you know? So as you can see, I'm rubbing this product right in, right? And then restyle it, okay? So if we do something like the picture where it's all coming over to one side, there's no exact parting in there, it's more just kind of brushing over. Then you start to see that shape coming in like that, coming over like that on that picture. So again, we're just going to bring it over and let it drop in. So you can see everything pulling over, but there's no hard part. It's just kind of going with a natural part of that. And that suits your face shape. It suits the height of the front. And you see that separation of hair sitting over there like that. So that. And then, and that's how it sits.
Oh, wow.
Happy with that?
Yeah, really pleased with how it turned out. Yeah.
Looks nice, doesn't it, man?
Yeah, amazing. Like you asked me earlier, like, what's one of your best like short haircuts? This
Thanks, man.
has got to be in contention.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome.
I'll take that, mate. I'll take that.
Better than the photo.
Yeah, compared to what you walked in like. It's very different, isn't it? You know.
For sure. Yeah.
No, I think it looks great, man. I really like it. I think it suits you loads. I think you picked really well. And yeah, I think. Yeah, it's something you could definitely stick with, you know what I mean? And
yeah, definitely.
Keep it going.
Nice to be able to move my head for a change, not having been weighed down by...
Yeah, it's very different, isn't it, as well? It's a very different feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
When your hair's gone.
You know what, I'll go to concerts now and go bang my head and like there's nothing there.
It might not have the same effect now, though, mate.
It's not going to work.
Headbanging's very different when you got short hair,
mate, it's not going to work no more.
No, it's probably not, mate, to be honest. No, you're right. It's probably not.
I might have to put in hair extensions.
You won't be the only one, mate.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, I'm glad you like it, mate. Thank you for that privilege. That was a real honour to do that.
Thank you so much.
It was really cool, mate. And it's always a pleasure doing these nice big transformations, man. I'm glad I'm glad you like it.
I'll tell you what, if I go out long again, I'll come and see you guys and we'll do something else.
100%.